Hello, everyone, and hope springs eternal. 80 degrees in the northeast. And you've landed on the mothership. This is the return of the experience. This is the return of the wrestling experience.
Now with the hottest show in the universe, the Wrestling Experience, with your host Earl Cole.
Acknowledge me.
Coming at you with all the dope shit, freshest WWE content, and also the AEW. You are now watching The Experience, the Wrestling Experience. Now with your host Earl Cole.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Wrestling Experience. Welcome to Thursday. We hope that you had a great Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, and now Thursday evening. You've landed on the mothership. You landed on the mothership once again, ladies and gentlemen. And oh, yes, you are on Planet Experience. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Wrestling Experience. I'm Earl Cole, and tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be discussing AEW Dynamite. AEW Dynamite last night took place in downtown Detroit, Michigan. We're going to discuss that and so much more, ladies and gentlemen. Plus, we're going to rewind and give our final thoughts on WWE Backlash. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking some news about Tony Khan. All of that and so much more here tonight on the Wrestling Experience. But I'm not here alone, ladies and gentlemen. Oh no. Oh no, ladies and gentlemen. I have been the person aboard my mothership. And ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman has been on this ship many times over. He's a polarizing figure in the IWC. He's called Mr. Controversial for a reason. He tells it like it is. He is forthright. He is funny. He is passionate. He is talented. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, he's got the lightning flash update, the rewind, and everything else in his cookpot. And I cannot wait to soup it all in. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the one and the only, Mr. DJ Storm. Let's add him to the screen.
I'm feeling it, baby. I am feeling it. And let me tell you something. That was a pretty adequate introduction, but Earl, there's only one way that we can do this introduction. Now, first things first, I must ask two questions. Number one, permission to come aboard the mothership.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
And number two, permission to titillate everyone's juices, because there's only one way that DJ Storms is going to do it. We're doing it DJ Storm style. Are you ready?
I am. I'm always ready, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, please clear the aisle and clear the runway. Ladies and gentlemen, on the stage right now is the incomparable Mr. DJ Storms.
Oh, 1 second. Me. Don't need a solatido. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms, and I would like to welcome each and every single one of you aboard the mothership. We are streaming live across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different accounts across 1, 2, 3, 4 different platforms, and we are turning up on a Thursday. Now, if you don't know some of the names that they call me, well, they call me Mr. Controversy and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle. Shit. Do you smell that? Hey, Earl, do you know what that is?
Oh, that's mother jumping excellence.
Oh my God. Yeah, you already know what it is. It is pure fucking excellencia. Wait for it. Wait for it. To mankind. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let me talk to you.
Let me talk to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Mr. DJ Storms.
You already know who it is. Thank you very much.
Yes,
I greatly appreciate you. We're rocking and we're rolling. We're streaming live on your channel, Hardcore Sports, my channel as well. We have a lot of good things in the cook pot and the All-Star Sports Network as well. So we are really turning up the heat. We're also on my personal Facebook and, of course, the DJ Storms Posse Facebook group, Hardcore Sports Twitter, and your Twitter. Let us not waste any more time. Let's dive right into this ring and let's get down entertain.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to just let you all know that the wrestling experience just loves this gentleman. When we come together, ladies and gentlemen, we are like two Earths coming together and one planet aligned. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, here on the mothership, we are going to be discussing AEW Dynamite. AEW Dynamite, ladies and gentlemen, took place last night in downtown Detroit, Michigan, home of WWE SummerSlam. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, Detroit, Michigan held Dynamite last night, a sold out crowd. And ladies and gentlemen, did they pack it in? And oh my gosh, we've got to talk about the main event. Very controversial main event, but nonetheless, it was a main event. It was a rage in the cage, and we're going to discuss that tonight. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have some news about Tony Khan. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to give you our final thoughts on WWE Backlash. So, ladies and gentlemen, that and so much more here tonight on the Wrestling Experience. So, before we begin, ladies and gentlemen, I just have one question. DJ Storms, where can everybody find you on social media?
Well, I'm very happy that you asked that, Mr. Earl Cole, because it just so happens that you can find me on social media at History Maker DJS. Once again, that is at History Maker DJS, both on Twitter and Instagram. You can also add me on Facebook as well. For collaborations and business inquiries, please make sure that you send me an email. My email is, of course, stormstakeover@gmail.com. Like the official DJ Storms business page, and I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse Facebook group, which, of course, Mr. Earl Cole is a senior administration member of. He is the man. He is my right-hand man, second in command. He is right underneath me because let me tell you something. I'm number one. Earl Cole's number two. We're the two-headed monster that no one can beat. Of course, please make sure to check out all those links in the description. Plenty of good material coming this week, including tomorrow night. I will post the vlog for my ISPW Rock and Wrestling weekend. We had a lot of great matches, including Homicide versus GKM for the Tri-State title. We had Harry Smith, British Bulldog Jr. versus Crowbar. And the main event, of course, was Bull James defending the World Championship against Rick Recon. Plenty of good material to come out of that vlog. That will go up at 7:25 p.m. before SmackDown goes live on Fox. Then you got the LFU on Saturday. LFU is on Saturday at 1 p.m., and we will go over the utterly retarded reason and the downright pathetic reason that WWE gave as to why they are allowing SmackDown superstars to compete for the Raw exclusive World Heavyweight Championship. We're going to talk about that. And then on Sunday, I've been waiting 4 years to unveil this. Sunday, the Lost Rundown for WrestleMania 35, where JV Thunder was supposed to make his return, but it never aired because of copyright issues. And JV Thunder will be performing. After all this time, it is finally being released to the public. 4+ years, you will get to see JV Thunder's exclusive performance of Thunderstruck by AC/DC. I'm very happy that I saved it. It is in tribute to my late grandfather. God rest his soul. It is going to be great. Do not miss it. You are going to want to watch every last minute of it. And I will be including the Search for Thunder series to go along with it so you could see how the Lost Rundown came to be. And then, of course, plenty of good material to come later on this month, including Rundown for NXT Battleground and Night of Champions with Jay Leto, Wrestling with Savage, shout out to him. He comes on the channel for the very first time with the Rundown for Double or Nothing. And then, of course, we got Rewind for Night of Champions, Rewind for Double or Nothing, and Rewind for NXT Battleground. All of this coming in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Plenty of good material. Please make sure that you're liking the stream, no matter where you're watching it from, whether it be on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, wherever you may be watching. Please like it. It is very vital that you do so. We want to get as much of an outreach as we possibly can, because when DJ Storms and Earl Cole come together, magic happens. We go together like tacos and Tuesdays. I'm telling you, it is the best duo in the IWC. No one holds a candle to Mr. Earl Cole and DJ Shizzle Dizzle, okay? And on top of that, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, whether it be on my channel or Hardcore Sports or Earl's channel. We are over 2,100 on my channel. We're over 300 on Earl's channel, and we're over 560 on the Hardcore Sports channel. We're itching closer and closer to 600. We are looking to be the #1 brand in all of sports analytics. And of course, when you hit that subscribe button, you gotta hit that notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. You know why? Because then you're going to know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, oh, baby, it is the best time to be on YouTube. Why? Because it's the only time you're going to get to see this glorious sideburn chin strap combination and this beautiful mustache right here. Yo, Earl, do you know what time it is?
Oh, it's comb time.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah, this mystical, beautifully crafted ace black comb. So we're going to light it up right here on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, on my channel, Hardcore Sports, Earl, All-Star Sports. We're going to light it up for everybody in the chat, for Sarah, for Peanuts, for Raphael, for Dee Dee. We're going to light it up with a little and a dash of and a whole lot of because like fresh pork chops right off the grill with some barbecue sauce on the side. Sweet Baby Ray's, of course, because Sweet Baby Ray's is the best type of barbecue sauce. I am just so fucking sizzling. I am so good. I am the tastiest snack in the IWC because you know and I know that everybody wants a piece of the Storm's Meister. Ha ha! Anyway, Earl, let's not waste any more time with the self-brand promotion and the advertisements. Take us away, if you will.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, that was the best promotions I've ever seen in the planet, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin again, like I said before, I'll say it again, the wrestling experience and of course my show, the Raw Watch Along, all return next week. Remember, the Raw Watch Along happens each and every Monday night. You can be part of our show. You can be part of it. And if you want to see the encore presentation of any of those Raw Watch Alongs, all you have to do simply is go on my channel and watch it anytime, any place, and anywhere. And you can be part of the show as well. please like and subscribe to my channel, to the Hardcore Sports Network, to DJ Storms, and all of the channels in between. We greatly appreciate it. And please hit that like button. Hit the like button on all of our channels. We greatly appreciate it. And of course, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Now, if you want to follow me on social media, you can do that very simply. All you have to do is go on Twitter and follow me at WWE Earl C. That is WWE Earl C. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, I have 500 followers on Twitter. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be a Twitter follower, then follow me on Twitter. If you want to follow me on Instagram, that's very simple as well. You can follow me at EarlC99 on Twitter, on Instagram, and of course, you can make me a friend on Facebook as well. And I just, like I said before, and I'll say it again during the stream, I just may ask you to join the DJ Storms Posse page, which I am a senior administrator. So all of that is available. And ladies and gentlemen, I did the rewind with DJ Storms on Backlash. If you want to see that, you can follow that. You can watch the encore presentation of that show right here on my channel and DJ Storm's channel, because I had a great time doing it. It was a lot of fun, and I hope in the near future I'll return to DJ Storm's page very shortly. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this party started. So, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to the 5 people that are in the chat. Make sure that you subscribe and you hit that like button and enjoy the show, because we're about to entertain you.
Share it out on all platforms, social media too, because everybody needs a dose of DJ Storms and Earl Cole, baby.
Exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, DJ Storms, I'm going to ask you a very important question that I always ask you every time you come on here. We do these AEW Dynamite shows. What did you make of the overall build for last night's AEW show?
Well, it definitely felt like a show that had a sense of urgency to it. Dynamite clearly has not been as hot over the course of the last couple weeks, and a part of that has to do with the fact that Tony Khan, it's definitely starting to feel now more than ever that he is really taking on too many responsibilities, and he's going to have to tone it down a bit with the recent hire of Will Washington. Even though I don't like him, I think he's a fucking stooge. But at the end of the day, if he does add a sense of balance to the power that's going on backstage in AEW, then you know what? He can only do good for the company, and he'll take some of the responsibilities off of Tony Khan's plate, so that way he has something to do, and Tony Khan can focus more on the more important things. But Dynamite clearly has not hit the way that it's usually been hitting. It hasn't been overall terrible. It hasn't been jack shit. I know what a shit show is. I watched the Royal Rumble earlier this year. But at the end of the day, the shows haven't been terrible. There's just been no genuine wow factor. There's been no emotional investment. This was different. This felt like Dynamite. It felt hot. There was buzz. And it feels like the pieces of the puzzle are starting to fall together. There's a lot of stars that got heavy showcase on this show, a couple of standout performances, and we can kind of see where the Double or Nothing is headed, and we see the matches starting to formulate, especially with what happened with the House of Black this week and the Acclaimed last week, and of course what happened with Don Callis in the main event, and then of course what's going on with Thunder Rosa and Miro. They're probably going to get involved on the show. Orange Cassidy, he's doing his thing. Daniel Garcia's doing his thing. But overall, the show was, it didn't really feel too hot coming in, but as the show went on, it definitely vamped itself up, and we ended up getting a fantastic show in the end.
Yeah, I agree with all of that assessment. I agree with all of that assessment because I thought the show was great. I had no issues with what happened in the match. We're gonna discuss the main event, which was very controversial to say none the least. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the first match we're gonna discuss, ladies and gentlemen, was the opening contest, and that was Rey Fenix versus Claudio Castagnoli. Now, this match was great. You know, let me explain something to you all. Rey Fenix in a recent interview says that he is wrestling with 10 different injuries. Now, the kid is tough. The kid is tough like a $2 steak. I'm sorry. I mean, if I had 10 injuries, I don't think I'd be able to last that long. But Ray Phoenix is something else. Ray Phoenix is a great luchador. I am a huge fan of his. And if you're not a fan of Ray Phoenix, I don't know what you're looking at. You don't probably know what you're looking at because Ray Phoenix is great. He's fantastic in the ring. His moves are crisp. What he does is great. What and how he sells those bumps and how he takes those bumps is really something. And I know all those injuries he has must really aggravate him to the point where he probably wants to give up, but he doesn't quit. This kid does not quit. The match with him and Kathleen was great. Great nuance in the ring, great chemistry. Love the match itself. DJ, so what did you make of the match?
Well, first off, I didn't even know why it was booked. It really didn't make too much sense. I kind of have a feeling why it was booked. It's been booked to advance the storyline between the Blackpool Combat Club and the Elite are probably going to cost Blackpool Combat Club the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles, which makes sense. But I don't really see a need to have Ray Phoenix, a champion, lose to another champion. Regardless, match, very good match. And if this is Ray Phoenix wrestling with 10 different injuries, I mean, holy shit. I don't even think the man is fucking human. But one thing I really hope he doesn't wear himself out and he doesn't end up making a mistake that ends up costing him in the long term. If he does have an injury, I would have them defend the titles. Have Ray Phoenix take a little break. You don't have to have them wrestle every week. Only wrestle when it's necessary to defend the championships. And then when it's time to take the titles off them, give Ray Phoenix some time off to heal up because he's really been going hard over the course of the last 6 to 7 months. He really has. But very good match between these two. Claudio ends up winning, and it looks like Claudio and Yuta will be getting a shot at the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles. It will be their second title defense. I'm still waiting for the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view to be announced because Ring of Honor, it hasn't been terrible. We've been getting some decent wrestling on the show, but there really hasn't been too much of a sense of urgency. They really haven't been building towards anything because at the end of the day, Dynamite's number one priority. But one thing I definitely hope for is a sense of urgency for Ring of Honor as they start building towards their next pay-per-view, which is probably Death Before Dishonor, probably sometime in July. But that's what I'm hoping for. I'm really hoping that they start building towards a pay-per-view sooner rather than later so we can get some storylines brewing, a sense of urgency in there. But very good match. Really didn't make too much sense to book, but we're going to get Claudio and Yuta wrestling for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles, and we'll probably get the Elite costing the Blackpool Combat Club the titles.
I think that's exactly the road that they're going to be traveling on. Here. I had no issues with the match. I had zero issues with it. I thought it was great. The spot that I loved in the match the most was when Ray Phoenix was on the barricade and he delivered the Huna Karana. I thought that was effortlessly. It was a thing of beauty. I mean, he neutralized Castagnoli. And I thought in the match, I thought that right then and there he was going to defeat Castagnoli, but no, that's not what happened. But it was a good match. It was a good, solid match. Like you said, I do agree. I don't know why they booked it, but you explained it. So let me ask you another question, DJ Son. What did you make of the Chris Jericho segment?
I thought it was a pretty decent way to continue the feud between Jericho and Adam Cole with Adam Cole not being there. I mean, Roderick Strong will unfortunately have to take a loss, but I'm glad that Roderick Strong is being put in big matches because Roderick Strong's fucking great. And it seems as though Jericho's probably going to get this win. And then after that, the match with Adam Cole will pretty much be confirmed. Jericho is in this position to kind of get Adam Cole back in the runnings because in the end, I do believe that Adam Cole at some point, he will be positioned to fight MJF for the world title. And who knows, maybe he might beat MJF for the world title, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. maybe sometime after Full Gear, maybe next year at Revolution. It depends on who MJF runs through, because he's got a lot of challengers left that he's going to have to face. But right now, I very much enjoyed that segment. It was a good way to get both men on the show. We got a Falls Count Anywhere match booked for next week. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be crazy, woolly wild, and all over the place, as you say. And it's definitely going to be entertaining. So I'm definitely looking forward to that next week. It seems as though they got a solid plan for what they want to do next week.
Yeah, and I agree with your assessment, because I thought it was great. He stuck up for his friend Adam Cole, and he challenged Chris Jericho to a false count. Like you said, he's gonna have to take the L in this match, but he'll give him a run for his money. That's for sure. This match will not be one-sided. So I liked it. It was good stuff. Good promo. Good segment. Great chemistry between the two
Roderick
of them.
Strong came off very well. Now, Roderick Strong's not the best promo, but he came off well.
Yeah, he came off well. He doesn't do too many promos, but when he does deliverance goods. He does deliver the goods. What did you make of the FTR segment?
Here's what I will say. This storyline, it's clearly redundant, especially with Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. I listen. I commend Jeff Jarrett for doing what he's doing, and he's still operating at a decent level. He gets mega heel heat, which I very much appreciate, because I'm a fucking heel myself. I'm a fucking dickhead. But at the end of the day, the whole concept of putting Lethal and Jarrett in the tag team title picture it's tiresome. It really is. I understand why they did it, because at the end of the day, FTR is not losing, so you got to give FTR some opponents that can take some losses, because in the end, I do believe that we're going to get FTR versus the Young Bucks at All In. You're going to load up that show to be as big as possible, so they're saving the big opponents for later on in the year. But at the end of the day, it has been redundant. What I will say is this. This segment was not bad. It was not bad. I thought that everyone played their roles just fine. And with Mark Briscoe as the special guest referee, I appreciate them trying to give us something interesting, especially when we had Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett throw alcohol in FTR's eyes, and they were blinded, and Dax didn't know who he was giving a pile driver to. I appreciate them trying to create some tension, but I genuinely believe that people are pretty much over the whole Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett scenario, especially with them in the tag team title picture. This is the fourth time this year that they've challenged for the tag team titles. I honestly think that everyone's fucking over it, and they're just looking to get back to regular tag team wrestling with the regular tag teams. There's plenty of tag teams that you can insert in there against FTR, but again, I have a feeling that they're waiting until later on in the year to do that. Yeah, obviously you got the Hardys, you got the Young Bucks. We could see FTR versus the Blackpool Combat Club potentially. I wouldn't mind that. Maybe Moxley and Danielson mix it up with FTR. That would be fucking great. Do the JAS 2.0 is very good. Daddy Magic's entertaining as shit, so he could give us some good television. But at the end of the day, they're doing what they're doing now. It wasn't a bad segment, but at the end of the day, I think everyone's just over Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. Not to say that they're not good acts, but there are so many more individuals that they should be pushing rather than Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. Jarrett is actually bringing Lethal down a little bit. Lethal should be in the singles division.
I agree with you. Okay. The segment was okay, but I don't know. I don't know if you agree with me with this or not, but I don't think it was needed.
Probably probably not. You could have saved this for Rampage, and it still would have been just as effective.
Right. I don't think it was needed. I think it was one of those lost elements of Dynamite that it just wasn't needed.
It was just there. It was there.
Yeah, it was mid, ladies and gentlemen. If you want me to be honest with you, it was mid.
It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great.
It wasn't great. I just was not I just didn't have no feeling for it. I wasn't like, jumping up and down. I do like some FTR. Don't get me
I
wrong. I
appreciate
am
them giving us a story, but again, it's
right.
just
Yeah, I appreciate the story. I appreciated the elements and everything to it. But again, like I said before, and I'll say it again, it was mid for me. It was mid. It just didn't do it for me. It just didn't. What's the word I'm looking for? It didn't do my fancy. It just didn't.
it didn't click.
It didn't click. Didn't click with me. Just didn't. I'm sorry. Interesting segment. I understand why you put it together, but for me, it just didn't do anything. It just didn't do any justice for me. It's sorry. Um, Orange Cassidy took on Daniel Garcia.
Now this was fucking great.
Now this was a banger. Now this was the banger. Let me explain something to you. I always talk to Mitch Kosky, and Mitch Kosky and Mitch has been my friend for a very long time. I don't know why he doesn't like Orange
No,
Cassidy.
he
I
does.
really
He
don't.
does. He does. He bullshits everyone.
Yeah, I know. But
Mitch is probably gonna fucking reprimand me. DJ, you're ruining my fucking gimmick. Shut up, Mitch. You love that.
but anyway,
Shut up.
ladies and gentlemen, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we digress. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Orange Cassidy and Daniel Garcia, the match was great. The match was fantastic. Great chemistry in the ring, great nuance in the ring. I love me some Orange Cassidy. Very entertaining, very athletic, and he brought it to Daniel Garcia last night. And Garcia did the same thing. So I loved it. I had no issues with it whatsoever. Um, Orange Cassidy retains the title, and rightfully so. And now the question is, who is his next opponent, and who wants to take him on, and who wants to take that belt from Orange Cassidy? Because I'll tell you something, he is not going out without a fight. Orange Cassidy, he's not going down without a fight, and that's Orange Cassidy, ladies and gentlemen. That's who he is. DJ Storms, what did you make of the match?
It still boggles my mind that there are people out there that still want to shit on Orange Cassidy. Listen, you can dislike the gimmick all you want, but after what he's been doing with the I almost said North American, AEW International Championship, I don't know how anyone can shit on Orange Cassidy. The man is easily one of the top tier workhorses in that company. And he is, I've said it once before, I'll say it again, he's on the run of his life right now. He is legitimately on the run of his life right now. I don't think that he's ever been hotter than what he's doing right now. He is at the top of his game week in and week out. And he has legitimately made that championship into a de facto second championship. That the international championship has never looked better. It actually, if you were to tell me that Orange Cassidy is the best champion in AEW right now, you know what? I would not look at you in a weird way. I would not look at you in a weird way whatsoever. The man is fucking phenomenal at what he does. There were actually a couple instances where I thought Garcia had it. I thought Garcia had Cassidy off the sharpshooter and off the crossface. I thought Cassidy was going to pass out. And you know what? I would have been perfectly okay with Garcia winning because Garcia is fucking great. He is the next star to be made. But in the end, Cassidy retains the championship, rightfully so. It really is an open field as to who takes it off of him. But since Miro's back, I mean, if you put that championship on Miro, I would not mind whatsoever. You got Miro in there, Luchasaurus. He's another one. You can give it to Luchasaurus. I wouldn't mind that at all. Maybe one of the members of the Blackpool Combat Club wins it. I don't know.
Christian Cage.
What'd you say?
Christian Cage.
Christian Cage, maybe. Maybe one of the four pillars wins it because at the end of the day, neither one of those pillars are coming out victorious at Double or Nothing. MJF's retained. So if they want to give it to a Darby Allin or a Jungle Boy, if they want to give it to Jungle Boy, I think probably Jungle Boy would probably be the best option out of the three other pillars minus MJF. Because Jungle Boy right now, I think he has the most upside. I think Darby Allin's going to go into a match with Sting at All In, so he's not going to be winning any titles for the foreseeable future. But you got a nice open field, but I really think that they're going to aim towards Miro, and if anything, they could very well pull the trigger on Miro on the debut episode of Collision, and Miro's going to win the AEW International Championship, and I would not have one single issue with that whatsoever. I think that would be great. Maybe Andrade comes back. And maybe he wins the championship. Again, it's an open field, but Orange Cassidy, fucking phenomenal. And I will say it again. I've said it once, I'll say it again. When Orange Cassidy drops the International Championship, there is no excuse as to why he shouldn't at least be a challenger for MJF. He's not going to win, but you put him against MJF for the World Championship, I'm telling you, that's going to be Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn levels of energy right there. That's going to be the Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn moment right there. I don't think it's not going to be as big as Montreal, but the energy in that arena for the near falls with Orange Cassidy on MJF, that's going to be something to behold. But Orange Cassidy right now, he's the man. He is the international champion, and he's doing that title a lot of good.
I'm not going to argue with that assessment. I agree with the whole thing. I totally agree. And let me just say something here. Garcia throughout the break was dominating the match, and as DJ Storm says, I had thought at one point he was going to win the title at one point in the spot of the match. One I also like about Garcia, he was mimicking Orange Cassidy, sticking his hands in the pocket like Orange Cassidy and doing those kicks that Orange Cassidy does. I thought all of that was great. I thought all of that was just fantastic. Everything that he did, Garcia did. It was great. And what he brought to the table was great. So again, like I said before, the match got a thumbs up from me and an A across the board from me because I had zero issues with it whatsoever. So good stuff. Orange Cassidy retains A across the board for me, and I loved it. I really did. What did you make of Christian Cage's interview?
Man, Christian Cage is a phenomenal fucking heel. Holy shit, he is such a great fucking heel. It's unbelievable, actually. It's unbelievable that Christian Cage was not allowed to be this good of a heel in WWE. Yes, we had the one more match shit, and that was actually very entertaining. I was actually behind him when he was doing the one more match shit. But man, dude, I don't think he's been this fucking hot as a heel when he was in the WWE. Oh my God.
No,
he is doing
you're absolutely right.
Shit. He really is. He really is doing some phenomenal shit. And let me tell you something. That right there is to really be respected. Now, I still really don't know fully as to why he's getting a TNT championship match, considering that he hasn't really been winning any matches, and he did get legitimately buried, literally buried by Jungle Boy back at Revolution. But I think that what he's doing as a heel, it's some really, really, really good stuff. He's got a really nice thing going for himself. He's got Luchasaurus backing him up, although I would like to see a little bit more of Luchasaurus. Christian Cage on my television screen equals phenomenal television. The one thing that we cannot have, though, we cannot have Wardlow lose the title. Wardlow needs to retain the championship, and Christian Cage needs to do the right thing. He needs to put the guy over. And now I realize that at the end of the day, it's going to be Tony Khan's final decision, and we can't really place the blame on Christian Cage. But I'm telling you right now, in the end, Wardlow needs to come out victorious here. We cannot have another flip-flopping of the championship session with Wardlow and someone else. We already had it with Joe. We already had it with Hobbs. We don't need that shit a third time. Keep that title on Wardlow and let him do his thing with the title. It's really inexcusable as to why Wardlow is not doing what Orange Cassidy is doing right now. Why is Orange Cassidy allowed to do what he's doing, but Wardlow is not? Why is every champion getting a title reign, but not Wardlow?
I don't understand it either, DJ Show. I don't understand it. I don't know why he's playing hot potato with it. I don't like playing hot potato with titles. I really don't. It just cheapens the title. It cheapens the title, and it ruins the history of the title. and it ruins the person holding the title. So I don't like playing hot potato with the title. I have said this millions of times on my show. Millions of times. And I've said it over and over again. I do not like playing hot potato. I don't think Tony Khan knows what to do with this title.
He doesn't. He honestly doesn't know what to do with the title. I really hope that he keeps it on Wardlow for the foreseeable future. Christian winning it would be a mistake. No matter how good of a heel he is, Christian winning it would be a mistake.
Yeah, and I believe that this is what's going to happen at Double or Nothing. This is the match that they're going to be traveling on at Double or Nothing. But what I want to see, and I won't accept anything less, is him retaining the title. I don't want to see some heel work where he takes the turnbuckle off and he smashes Wardlow's face in it and he rolls him up and he's doing something dirty and then he steals the. I don't want to see none of that. I don't want to see none of that in the match. If this is what you're going to book at Double or Nothing, just make him win it clean and be done and over with. I don't want to see him lose the title again because I will be angry, and I'm not gonna hold back on my thoughts on that because Tony Khan needs to understand something. You can't you can't get respect out of a champion if he doesn't have respect of the championship reign. You have to understand that. The fans have to marinate on the champion. You can't just keep changing them around like they're old jeans in the pants, and you're just switching them around, and everybody's wearing the same pants, and you're passing it around, and you can't keep doing that. You can't keep doing that. It's not that it doesn't serve any purpose. It serves no value whatsoever. The audience is going to sour on the champion. And what's going to happen eventually is that the title will become relevant. And once something becomes irrelevant, that means that it's going to be pushed way down the totem pole. Way down the totem pole. And you have to understand that that's what's going to happen here. The fans are not going to keep putting up with you, keep switching the titles on people. So if you're going to have Christian go after the championship with Wardlow, then let Wardlow retain the title. Make it an easy retainment when he get the title. And that will do it. I won't accept anything less. Tony Khan. I won't accept anything less.
There you
I'm
go.
sorry. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Anna Jay took on Julia Hart in a no holds barred match. Now, let me just say something here. The match was okay, but the problem that I had with this match, some of the moves, some of the ladies were a little stiff. They were a little stiffy whiffy in some of the moves.
If we're talking about stiff, we need more of that in women's wrestling. Jamie Hayter operates stiff.
Yeah, that is true.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what I will say. I will say that it was a lot better than expected. It was nothing really crazy. It was nothing really over the top, but they went in there. They didn't embarrass themselves. And above all else, they went in there and they took some fucking bumps.
Yes, they did.
Bumps. Here, let me tell you something. I've said it once, I'll say it again. Anna Jay has really regressed. Anna Jay really needs to get better in the ring. I don't know what happened between this year and last year, but she has very much regressed in the ring. She really needs to work on her craft. But for some weird reason, whenever it comes to no DQ matches, Anna Jay always ends up putting out something fairly decent. And above all else, one thing I will give praise to Anna Jay for, she really needs to work on her craft, but that woman is not afraid to throw her body around.
She's not.
That woman is not afraid to go in there and take a fucking kendo stick shot or take a suplex onto chairs or take a power bomb through a fucking table. She is not afraid to do that shit at all. And you know what? That right there, I have a great amount of respect for Anna Jay for that reason. And if she could get her wrestling down, if she could tune out something decent when it comes to her wrestling aspect alone, then you know what? She's going to be a solid hand in this division. She needs a lot of work, but for what this was, for what Julia Hart and Anna Jay did, even though there wasn't too much investment, I thought that what they did was actually fairly decent, a lot better than expected. They didn't embarrass themselves. It didn't go too long, and the right woman won. And that was pretty much the House of Black had a good night. House of Black is being booked strong. That's pretty much all I can ask for because the House of Black are fucking great, and they should be booked like a dominant faction throughout this year. So I can't really complain.
No, again, we agree with the assessment. I agree with the assessment. I mean, I'm not going to argue with that assessment at all. I just thought that they were a little stiff in the match. I just thought it was a little stiff, but I still love the match. I'm not going to knock the match. I'm not going to do that. I loved it. I love the match. I thought it was great. Like DJ Sun said, she worked they both worked their ass off in the match. They went there and they delivered something that was great. They delivered the.
It was.
I mean, okay. It was decent. It was decent. It was decent. It was decent.
I mean,
let me take the G.
You can't really say this was great.
Right. Let me just take the G word back, ladies and gentlemen. It was decent. It was decent for what it was. It was decent for what it was, and I loved it. I loved it. They worked their ass off. They brought in the toys and everything else in the ring, and they used it on each other. It was great. This was okay. And let me tell you something. Julia Hart is a great heel. She is a fabulous heel. She's
gotten
really
a lot better. I will say that.
She has a lot better in the heel.
Being a manager, she's gotten a lot better.
Yeah. I again, like I said, it was decent. I liked it. Okay. So let's talk about this. The House of Black and Bandito took on the Best Friends. Now, this match was under House of Black rules, which means that there was a count of 20. The arena was dark. And I believe that we're going forward. I believe going forward, this is how they want their matches being wrestled. I had no issues with it. I had no issues with it whatsoever. The arena was dark. It made that, like Tony Schiavone said, it made that 70s vibe. It had a 70s vibe to it. Like you were going to a 70s wrestling house show and they had the lights out. There was not too many lights on in the arena. I loved it. I love the ambiance. I love the House of Black. I think that they're a solid duo. Trio, not duo, trio. They're a solid trio, and they are a force to be reckoned with. And I love it. And with Julia Hart driving the train, I have no issues with it whatsoever. I have zero issues whatsoever. I thought it was great the way they had the match. I love the nuance. I love the little chemistries in the ring. Everybody played their part well in the match. No issues with it. And you know something, Malachi Black, he's dangerous. You have no idea what he.
I'm very happy that they're starting to get the showcase that they deserve. This year is a very good year for them.
Yeah, it's about time. It's about time that the House of Black comes forward on stage and shows exactly what they are capable of as a group. And this was great. DJ Sam, what did you think of the match?
Well, first of all, the presentation with the arena blacked out and solely focusing on the ring, it definitely made for a more menacing vibe. It definitely gave the House of Black that ominous feel. And it almost reminded me a little bit of classic NXT Black and Gold during the ring announcements where they blacked out everything and only put the spotlight on the ring. I thought that was actually a very nice touch. And it was a fun match. Didn't go over 10 minutes. It didn't really do anything out of the ordinary, but it was a fun match. And the House of Black, they looked very, very good, as they should. And if these house rules are going to be a consistent thing going forward, with any trio going after them, then they're going to be able to run through a lot of people. They're going to look strong. And in the end, the House of Black, they're ultimately going to be looked at as easily one of the top three trios. They should be looked at as one of the top three trios. And I'm very, very happy that they did the right thing. They pulled the trigger on the House of Black, and they gave it to the House of Black back at Revolution. And the House of Black, they're doing their thing. They're probably going to face the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass at at Double or Nothing, and they're going to beat them, as they should. Now, if you're asking me, probably the biggest match that they could do for All In, I wouldn't mind seeing the House of Black versus the Blackpool Combat Club at All In. That
Would you do a stipulation?
If you want to do the open house rules match, maybe you want to do an Anarchy in the Arena, maybe you want to do a no holds barred, something along those lines. But either way, you put those 6 guys in the ring, you just let them go out there and wrestle. They're going to put on a fucking match of the year candidate if I've ever seen one. So
yeah, a banger.
You just let the House of Black, just let them keep on doing what they're doing. Just give them the TV time, give them the creative freedom, and let them go out there and wrestle. And you're going to get what you're going to get. And so far, the House of Black, they've been doing their thing with the Trios Championships. They've been putting on some great matches, and they're winning. They're looking strong, and that's exactly what you need to do. Exactly what you need to do. House of Black retain, absolutely the right outcome. And if they keep on doing what they're doing, it's going to be a very good year for the House of Black in the end. To be quite honest with you, I wouldn't have them lose the championships until next year, if I'm going to be quite honest. But you know, that's just wishful thinking.
Right. But I again, like I said, I love. I agree with your assessment. The match was great. The match was a banger. The match was fantastic. These men were in the ring, ladies and gentlemen, and the little nuances of the ring, I loved it. I absolutely love this match whatsoever. I love me some Malachi Black. I love me some Brody King. These guys are nothing. Buddy Matthews. These guys are nothing short of sensational. And I agree. I agree with DJ Storm. If you put them in a match with the Blackpool Combat Club in All In, can you imagine 90,000 people witnessing that, ladies and gentlemen?
Great.
Can you imagine that? The English crowd looking on, watching that match. I don't have no issues with it. Zero. No issues. I hope they do book that, because that will be great.
That's the biggest match that they could book. That'll sell tickets.
Oh, yeah. Wow. This past weekend, did they sell tickets for that All In? Let me tell you something. That was a pretty interesting feat by Tony Khan. Over 68,000 tickets. 70,000 tickets, ladies and gentlemen, was sold. Tony Khan so far has made $8.9 million in ticket sales, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll tell you something. He has some weight in gold, because I don't think the rest of the tickets are going to last long. They are not going to last long.
They're going to hit 80. They're going to hit 80.
Yeah, he's going. I'm telling you this.
There hasn't been a single match announced, and tickets have been on sale for a week, and it's already 80% sold. Yep. Even then, that's a win.
That's a win. That is a win.
That's a win.
That's a win, ladies and gentlemen. Even they said, even every blog that I have read, every report that I've read, ladies and gentlemen, they said that this All-In ticket sales defeated the Clash of the Castle ticket sales.
There you go.
That is impressive. That's impressive. And this company, ladies and gentlemen, this company is not even 5 years old yet. And they have done that. 80% sold of the house. Why is everybody always hating on AEW? When you see numbers like that, ladies and gentlemen, and when I'm telling you for the last time, stop hating on AEW. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Because like Triple H said, we ain't going anywhere. Well, AEW ain't going nowhere. Nope. No. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I digress. Ladies and gentlemen, we're up to the main event.
Main event
of Dynamite. Inside a 15-foot high steel cage.
Yeah.
Let me talk to you.
Yeah. Let me talk.
It was Jon Moxley taking on the one and the only Mr. Kenny Omega. The match was a banger. Ladies and gentlemen, the match was great. The match was, let me tell you something, every nuance of the match. You know what the best part about that match was, ladies and gentlemen? When both men went through the cage. But what we got in the end, ladies and gentlemen, was the most controversial ending I have ever seen inside a cage. Now, let me explain something to you. This cage match outshined any other cage match the WWE could ever produce. The WWE's cage matches are boring and vanilla.
Yeah, the last great steel cage match in WWE was probably Drew and Cross back at Crown Jewel.
Right. But after that,
that was in November.
Right. And I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen, their cage matches are vanilla. They have no sizzle to it. They have no steak. They have no nothing to it. But this cage match, ladies and gentlemen, has sizzle, steak, and controversy all rolled into one. And this was fantastic. I loved it. Great stuff in the ring. Great stuff, especially the controversy. DJ Storms, what did you make of the match?
Well, you already know that it was going to be an absolute war. It was going to be balls to the wall nuts. Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega, so of course. And Jon Moxley evens the series up at 2 wins apiece. Now, even though the first match didn't count because it was unsanctioned, we still kind of count it because, we saw it happen. Even though it doesn't count, it's still a victory on his part, excuse me. But this was a great steel cage match. And one thing that I love about AEW is the fact that every single steel cage match stands out from the rest. You can clearly tell the difference between each steel cage match. The steel cage match is not over-abused. There's only been 6 steel cage matches in AEW history, which is great, and they play it up very, very well. They use it when it's necessary, when the time is right. And
special occasions.
Yes, on special occasions. It really is a great thing to see. And Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley, they went to war. And Don Callis, man, the invisible hand strikes again. Don Callis turns on Omega, and he is all but confirmed to be a member of the Blackpool Combat Club. So now it looks like we're all but confirmed to see Takeshita as a part of the Blackpool Combat Club too. So the Elite, they got Omega, Matt and Nick, and Hangman. Who's next? I don't know, man, but I think
would you recruit Roderick Strong?
No, not him. I think that Omega is going to make a call to a star, a certain golden star, Mr. Kota Ibushi from New Japan Pro Wrestling, former New Japan Pro Wrestling superstar, is now going to be a contracted AEW superstar, and he will be the 5th member of the Elite, and that will be your blood and guts match, probably on an episode of Dynamite. I think that we're going to see Ibushi sooner rather than later, but for now, I think we're going to see Callis in the corner of the Blackpool Combat Club. It's going to be Blackpool Combat Club versus the Elite and Hangman, and that's when we're going to see the Konosuke Takeshita heel turn, with the Blackpool Combat Club getting the victory, and then we will see the Blood and Guts match take place later on in the summer. But great cage match, and Don Callis, man, left us with a cliffhanger, left us talking. Don Callis, fucking backstabbing son of a bitch, that fucking bastard, screws over the wrestling god. Love it. Great steel cage match to end a fantastic episode of Dynamite.
Yep. Agreed. The fans were talking about this, ladies and gentlemen, on Twitter. The fans were upset. The fans were like, what in the world was that? What in the world was that? Why did you do what you did? And I'm quite sure that we're going to get the explanation next week on Dynamite.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I don't care why he did what he did. It was fucking great.
The fans want to know what the heck was that. Everyone wants to know, why did you do what you did? Let me tell you something. You can never trust a heel like Don Callis, because you do not trust somebody like Don Callis. I wouldn't even have him sell me a Cadillac. Okay, Don Callis is something else, ladies and gentlemen. He is something else in the heel department. I'll tell you. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, the match was great. The match was a banger. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about why he did it. He will, I know by next week on Dynamite, he will explain his actions. The fans in Detroit called him an a-hole, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm quite sure Don Callis will get the same treatment next week in Austin, Texas, when the AEW makes their debut in Austin. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was AEW Dynamite. That was AEW Dynamite, ladies and gentlemen. And it was great. The show was great. The show was fantastic. Great promos, great segment work. We loved everything of the matches. It was great. I had a great time watching it last night, calling the matches. It was great. So it was everything was great. Before we move on to Backlash, ladies and gentlemen, I just have a little article here about Tony Khan, and this is per comicbook.com. Apparently, Tony Khan has signed a $1 billion deal over the next 5 years to have his library and AEW pay-per-views be streaming on HBO Max. Now, I don't know if he has signed a deal yet, if the deal is done, or or it will get done by the end of the month. But I think this is great. If you can't afford regular pay-per-view, then you can go right over to HBO Max and watch AEW on their streaming service. I think this is great. This is a win-win for Tony Khan. He makes revenue. The fans get what they want, and this I think this is great. $1 billion over 5 years. I think this is great. And DJ Sons, what do you think?
I don't think it's a billion. I think that they may be stretching it a little bit, but even so, even if he gets somewhere in between the 700 to 850 million range, that's a big win for AEW. That is entirely a huge win for AEW. That is going to skyrocket them to the top easily. And the more that stuff like this keeps on coming out, the more that I just sit back and I think to myself, I told you so. You're everybody's acting all shocked. I told you I told you so. People are always saying the same bullshit. Oh, AEW's going under. AEW's going under. AEW's going under. No, they're not. They're going to be around for a long, long time. No matter what you say, no matter how hard you want to pray to whatever God you pray to, Tony Khan and AEW, they're not going anywhere. They have a very strong relationship with Time Warner and HBO Max. And you know what? Tony Khan, he is a very, very, very good businessman. He is no stupid idiot whatsoever. No stupid idiot whatsoever. And in the end, Tony Khan, he is going to do what he needs to do. He's going to make money, and he's going to put out a great product as he can. I do hope that he spreads out the responsibilities as we've already talked about. But Tony Khan, doing his thing. But I don't think it's $1 billion. I think that may be a bit of a stretch. I do think it's somewhere around the 700 to 850 million range. But either way, both of those numbers are great for AEW, and that's going to really put Tony Khan in a very good position to, experiment with a lot of money, possibly pay some disgruntled WWE superstars that want to come over. Maybe a Drew Galloway. I don't know if he comes over in 2024. That's definitely big. It's definitely big, but we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. I definitely do believe that we are going to see a lot of great material, and props to Tony Khan and AEW. They're doing their thing. And Tony Khan, he's securing these mega financial deals.
Yeah,
I wish I could
agree.
secure a financial deal like that. Holy shit, I want to be a fucking billionaire.
I think everybody does. I think everybody does, and they wish. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, that's the story about Tony Khan and HBO Max, and let's see what happens. Let's see if that will be announced very soon that he will be going over to HBO Max. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give you our final thoughts on Backlash. And let me just say something about Backlash for a second. For 3 years in a row, ladies and gentlemen, we had no build to this show. We had no build. There was zero build to this Backlash. But what was produced was okay. Now the only thing that I did not care for this Backlash this year were two things: the shenanigans in the first match and the controversial with Brock Lesnar. But we're going to discuss all of that. We're going to discuss all of that. So let's talk about this for a second. For the Raw Women's Championship, it was Bianca Belair taking on Io Sky. The match was going good. The match was going fine. It was going good. But again, like I said before, and I'll say it again, why do you gotta keep putting shenanigans in a match when something is good? Why do you gotta go there and have something cooking very deliciously and very fragrantly, and then all of a sudden you put motor oil on it? Why do you gotta do that? And then why do you have to do that? Why do you do that? That is just not necessary. All of this shenanigans wasn't. I mean, you didn't have to bring out the cow. You didn't have to bring out the woman that milked the cow. You didn't have to bring out the farm animal and everything else in between. I don't know why you did all of that, but all of that should have been left in the barn. The shit should have been left in the barn, to be honest with you. If you want me to be quite honest with you, you didn't need all that shenanigans. I don't like shenanigans in a match, especially if it's good. You don't need to ruin a good match with shenanigans. I hate
I
it.
wouldn't necessarily say they ruined it. I'd like to hope that they set up a
Yeah,
story.
okay. They didn't really ruin them, but
That
it
was
kind of
the second best match of the night.
right. I just thought it just took away the mystique of the match. I'm sorry I used the word ruin. I shouldn't have used the word ruin. It was my mistake. I'm just all over the place because I'm just frustrated with the shenanigans. I don't like it. Just leave the match alone. Leave a tender moment alone. Let them go out there and have a decent, clean match without shenanigans. But anyway, like I said, the match was good. The match was good. They great chemistry in the ring, great nuance in the ring. I love me some Io Sky. I thought at one time in the match, I thought she was going to win the title, but she didn't. Bianca went over. Because Mr. McMahon don't respect Japanese wrestlers, as we all know. So he's not going to make her win no title anytime soon because she can't talk, she can't speak English. So Mr. McMahon don't respect people who don't speak English. So I mean,
They
that's
used to
the
have a
way.
Bianca fetish, I believe.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway,
Great match.
DJ, son, what did you think?
I thought it was a great match. I definitely would have given the championship to EO, and we talked about this on
Yeah,
Sunday. But I'd like to
yeah,
hope that they're building towards something, and they're going to split EO away from Damage Control. We're probably going to get an
right.
EO versus Bailey match, and they still haven't said anything of what they're going to do with Bianca and Rhea. We have the Raw Women's Champion on SmackDown and the SmackDown Women's Champion on Raw. Completely nonsensical, but we'll wait and see what happens there. But nevertheless, a great match, and Bianca retains in what was the second best match of the entire night.
Yeah, and I agree. Again, like I said, it was great. Now, here's something that was very shocking, ladies and gentlemen. You want to see some shock moments? Here's a shocking moment. Omos took on Seth Rollins,
And the match was actually decent.
and the match was decent. Don't fall off your chair and don't fall off the mothership. Hold on to yourself. Hold on.
I'm staying right here on the mothership.
Don't fall off, ladies and gentlemen, and go to another planet. Don't do that. Because this match was good. I cannot believe I'm gonna say this. This match was decent. I cannot believe I'm saying that in an Omos match.
That just goes to show you how good Seth Rollins is.
Right. And he made Omos look like $1 million, ladies and gentlemen. The man is as green as... Never mind.
Goose shit.
Yes. And, ladies and gentlemen, he can hardly walk. It's like pushing sand across the ring, ladies and gentlemen. It's like pushing... Yes. A zombie. Yes.
He's the living embodiment. He's the Nigerian fucking Frankenstein.
Right. He can hardly walk, ladies and gentlemen. But in the match, he actually worked in the match, which I was very surprised at. I still cannot get over this match. I still cannot get over this match.
And the right man won.
And the right person won. I still can't get over this match. I still, in my head, cannot say. Now, let me tell you something. The person Omos is probably great, but his in-ring work is horrible. He is atrocious. None of his matches are classic. None of his matches have been classic. None of it. Okay? None of it. It's like spoiled ice cream mixed with Dawn dishwashing liquid. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I digress. But the match was great. The match was okay. They had great chemistry in the ring, and I can't believe how they worked together. That was great. I don't know what else to say. I really don't know what else to say. I really don't.
Why is Omos still employed? He's lost.
Well, yeah, well, right.
Why is he there? What value does he serve? He's legitimately lost to everyone. He's legitimately a giant jobber. And people want to say, oh, Omos's stock has risen. Omos's stock is rising week by week. Motherfucker, the guy never had any stock to begin with. Omos and stock in the same sentence is like comparing a fucking Lamborghini to a fucking Hot Wheels car. Fucking stupid. How exactly? Well, when did this man ever have stock to fucking begin with? The only reason why the man has actually had decent matches is because he has been lucky enough to be put in there with individuals that actually know how to work. And in the end, he ended up getting carried to great matches. I wouldn't even say great, decent matches.
Right.
He ended up getting his giant ass carried to a decent match and easily what will be the best match of his life with Seth Rollins. I don't think anyone is going to top what Seth Rollins did. But we'll have to wait and see. But in the end, again, I will ask, and I'm going to ask every single time we see an Omos match and we see another Omos loss. Why is the guy employed? And what exactly does this guy bring to the table? The answer:
nothing.
Nothing. Just let him go. Let him go.
Yeah. And like I said before, I'll say it again, like none of his matches are stellar. None of his matches have been stellar. None of them. Every time I look at this man, I'm like, why is it? Is it because he's a freak to you, and you want to make fun of him? Is this the reason why you're parading him on top? I mean, because I'll tell you this right now: anybody who is over 7 foot tall cannot wrestle a lick. They can't. They can't because they cannot move in the ring correctly. It looks awkward. They can't do a leapfrog. They can't do a backflip. They can't even do a nip up. They can't do anything. So my question to you is, why are you putting them in the ring and humiliating them like that and parading them in front of the camera, in front of a live audience? Why are you doing that? And why are you torturing the audience with it? That is my big question. That's my $1 million question. That I don't understand. I don't get that at all. I don't get it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, Rollins made him look like a. Now there was no build to this match. There was zero build to this match. This was just one of those punishment matches for Rollins from Mr. McMahon. Because if you didn't know the backstory, there was a rumor that Seth Rollins walks out on the WWE production meeting because he was upset with Mr. McMahon about canceling his promo at the night after WrestleMania, and he just made Rollins look like a fool going out there and waving to the audience and then going to the back. So he sicked Omos on Rollins. And sure enough, Rollins stuck his middle finger in the air. He says, "Well, you know what? I'm going to make Omos look like $1,000,000." And that's exactly what he did. And Rollins won the match by giving Omos the stomp from the top rope.
There you go.
And that was the end of Mr. Omos for the night. But
And
anyway,
goodbye. We will see you never.
right,
Unfortunately, we're going
exactly.
to have to see him again at some point.
Right. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, for the U.S. title, it was Austin Theory taking on Bronson Reed and Bobby Lashley. The match was great. The match was fun. I liked the match. Um, Bronson Reed shined in this match. He held his own, and he did his thing in the ring. He did. He did his thing in the ring. I appreciate his efforts. I appreciate all the men's efforts in this match. Right outcome came. Austin Theory retained the title, rightfully so. The match was solid. It was a solid, good time match, and it was an easy. Well, it wasn't an easy retainment. I wouldn't say that. They did all two men uh gave Austin what he got in the ring. But anyway, it was great. I had no issues with it. What did you think, DJ Storms?
This was probably the shortest match of the night and only went about 7 minutes. But in the end, I would definitely say that they made the most of the time that they were given. And in the end, we ended up getting a decent triple threat match for the United States Championship. And like we already touched upon on the rewind, Bronson Reed,
Nice.
he got the showcase that he needed to get. And I really like to hope that WWE management, the officials, are paying attention. I really like to hope that they're paying attention. And in the end, they will indeed give Bronson Reed the time and the showcase and hopefully the push that he absolutely fucking deserves. The man is phenomenal at what he does. The man, for his size, does things that no one should be able to do. The man is easily one of the most versatile big men and easily one of the most versatile men, period, that WWE has. You can insert him into anything, and he's going to make the most of it. And this is one of the things that we touched upon in the rewind. Even some of the losers on Backlash were winners. With what we
Right.
got, the U.S. title match, Bronson Reed, even though he lost, he was a winner because of what he did. And that is something that I greatly respect. So I'd like to hope that with this showcase, Bronson Reed is going to be doing some good stuff going forward. Potentially, he could be the one to take the Intercontinental Championship from Gunther, and a new star will be created.
Well, let me ask you something. What do you think about now? I've read this from multiple sources, but what do you feel about Vince McMahon wanting him to lose weight?
I mean, it's fucking stupid. Vince McMahon does that with everyone. He does that with legitimately everyone that does not look like Randy Orton or Roman Reigns or fucking God knows who. He doesn't look like John Cena. Doesn't look like the fucking Rock. Doesn't look like Triple H. Doesn't look like Seth Rollins. He does it with everyone. He always goes on about how these larger individuals are too fat. Bronson Reed looks just fine as he is. Bronson Reed looks fucking great. And Bronson Reed is moving around fucking great. At the end of the day, if he's moving around great, he has great character, he can wrestle his ass off and put on great matches. Who the fuck gives a shit how much he weighs?
Right.
Meanwhile, Vince McMahon is over here and he has zero complaints about Yokozuna when Yokozuna was booked, and Yokozuna was easily one of the largest wrestlers to ever wrestle in WWE, but yet he has a problem with fucking Bronson Reed. Fucking stupid. Honestly,
Uh,
really fucking stupid. But at the end of the day, again, a great showcase for Reed. And I'd like to hope that since the World Heavyweight title's on Raw, Triple H will be in control of Raw, which means he will be in control of Bronson Reed.
Right. And he won't be subject to that ridicule. Because I'll tell you this, I'm glad you brought up Yokozuna. Why couldn't you why didn't you make a complaint about that?
He
Why did you
became
make a
WWE champion multiple times over.
right? Why didn't you complain about that? I don't, I just don't understand him and his thought process when he speaks because he doesn't make any sense. What he says makes no sense because apparently what he says is that he wants him to lose weight because he said it don't look good on camera.
And Vince McMahon's mustache doesn't look good on camera, but that don't stop him.
Right. Oh, and I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen, that mustache that Mr. McMahon had, he looked like one of those men that come into the room and he has the raincoat on and he's naked underneath and he opens it up and I'm gonna show you some good shit. You know that. I don't
I
think
didn't know you were gonna say. I didn't know you were gonna say I'm gonna show you some good shit.
Sorry. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry.
It's such good shit, pal. Now, why don't you come aboard this mothership?
Right, exactly. I'll show you a good time. Oh, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we.
Man, always evolve into fucking madness.
Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we do here at the Wrestling Experience.
Moving on.
Yeah, we're gonna entertain you, and we will. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Bad Bunny took on Damian Priest. Good match, great stuff. I love Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny, ladies and gentlemen, he has to be one of the greatest things I've ever seen in the ring. He respects the WWE. He respects the moves. He respects everything. He sold all the bumps well. This was a great match. This was a lot of fun. This was a lot of fun. And let me tell you something. Bad Bunny showed on Twitter. If you didn't see the pictures, go on Twitter, go on his Twitter page and look at the welts that he got from the match. His back was all gnarly and messed up. But boy, he delivered the goods. Bad Bunny delivered the goods. And this was a great match. This was fun for what it was. I thought it was a banger. Both men worked their behinds off in the match. And this was great. DJ Storms, what did you think?
This was easily one of the best matches of the year. If you were to tell me that this was your favorite match of the year, period, you know what? I would not look at you weird whatsoever. It was absolutely fucking great. And Bad Bunny, let me tell you something. Bad Bunny and Logan Paul, too. Those two individuals really, really set the bar for what a celebrity pro wrestling appearance should be.
Right.
Excellent match from start to finish. The ambiance was great. It had everything that you wanted. The story, the wrestling, the surprises, the crowd, the ambiance, the energy, the vibe, everything that you could have asked for in a pro wrestling match. It had it. It delivered. And if anything, Damian Priest, after this, just like I said about Bronson Reed, even in defeat, Damian Priest looks like a fucking superstar. And if they want to have Damian Priest as the guy to potentially take the IC title from Gunther, or after Rollins wins the world title, which I do believe he will, Rollins goes and he loses the title to Damian Priest when the time is right, I would not mind that either. Damian Priest showcased to everyone that he should be a top-tier priority and a main eventer for years to come. He was trusted to guide Bad Bunny to a great match, and he not only did just that, he guided Bad Bunny to the best match of the show and easily one of the most entertaining matches of the year, period. Fucking excellent stuff.
Yep, I agree. 1,000%.
And Zelina Vega, she also got a great reception in Puerto Rico as well. That was a great moment for her.
Yeah, that's let's talk about that one. Zelina Vega took on Rhea Ripley. for the SmackDown Women's title. The match was great. The match was fantastic.
I wouldn't say
No, okay. I'm
it
gonna
was
take that back.
it
I'm
was
gonna
a
take the
decent little
great
match.
back.
A decent little match. It was more about Rhea getting over as a
Right,
heel, and it was more about Zelina getting that Puerto Rican reception,
right,
which they did. I
right.
will give credit to Zelina for getting a lot better, but it was probably, if we're going to go out on a limb, probably the weakest match on the show. But still a decent match. It did its job, didn't overstay its welcome, and Rhea Ripley got the victory as she should.
Wait, I'm not. I'm okay. I'm going to take the word "great" back. I agree with DJ Storm's assessment. The match was okay. The match was okay. Her family was in the audience. It was great. She dedicated the match to her father who died in 9/11, which is pretty sad. And she went out there. She dressed in a Puerto Rican gear that she had. She came down to the ring. The crowd just souped her all up, and they gave her a standing ovation even after the match, even the defeat. And this was great. This was great. Very emotional match for Zelina Vega, and I'm glad that she got her due in the spotlight, even though it's not what she wanted, but she still got her moment in the sun, and I have no issues with that whatsoever. Um, all right. Let's see. The Usos and Solo Sequoia took on Riddle, Zayn, and this was a good 6 man for what it was. A lot of deception going on in this match. The seeds are been planted with this, but not. Let me just say something here. I don't know about you, and I can't speak for DJ Storms, and I certainly cannot speak for other wrestling fans. But I'm kind of getting a little weary with this Bloodline storyline. I'm getting a little weary with it. And I just wish that they would have some kind of end game to this. Like, when is this going to come to a crescendo? When is this going to come to an end? What kind of gold nugget are we going to get at the end of the rainbow here? Because I'm just getting a little weary with it. I want to see something pop off. I want to see something like stupendous, yeah, to happen with the storyline. Um, I just wish that they would do some kind of end game with it and finish it already. I'm getting a little wary with it. I don't know how you feel about it, DJ Stokes, but I'm just getting wary of the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm really right there with you, man. It has really become increasingly hard for me to care about it, especially after what happened at WrestleMania. When Cody and Roman had their match, that really should have been the end. That really should have been the end. And Cody should have won, and we should have been off to the races with Roman Reigns in a feud with his own bloodline, because there really is nothing left to do. There really is nothing left to do. And in the end, Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, that should be the match that they should be building towards. But they didn't pull the trigger. They didn't do it. And now we're stuck in this storyline where all they're doing is spinning the wheels and they're really not getting anywhere. Right now, we're just waiting for Solo to turn on the Usos. And now the Usos are going to have to go on a quest to free Solo of this manipulation that he has, because Roman Reigns is whispering in his ear, telling him what to do. They're going to have to figure out a way to break that mind control. Not really sure what's going to come of it, but when Roman Reigns isn't there, the Bloodline storyline really does not have too many moving parts. And I stated this numerous amounts of times. I'll say it again. Without Sami Zayn, the Bloodline's essentially dead. The Bloodline coming out of WrestleMania 38 last year, they were dead in the water. Not because they were great, but because there was no one to stand up to them. There was nobody to be the yin to their yang. They were just individuals that were sitting atop the mountain of omnipotence, and no one was on their level. So at the end of the day, what were they going to do? They were just stagnant. Then along came Sami Zayn. He completely resurrected the Bloodline. Solo, to me, is the best member out of the bloodline right now. Solo is fantastic. But outside of Solo, I can't really say that I care about any member of the bloodline. Roman Reigns, his championship reign, it's just
blah.
It's just not blah. It's great, but it's really overdone at this rate. I'll paint you a picture. Let's say it's a nice summer day. It's 70, 75 degrees. Not too hot, not too cold, little breeze. And you say to yourself, you know what? I'm going to go out and I'm going to cook myself a nice piece of red meat. So you go to the supermarket and you go to the meat department and you go to the butcher. He's like, you go to Frank the butcher. Hey, Frank, I'm looking to get me some red meat. What you got? And Frank goes, oh, we got a wide variety. We got some filet mignon. We got some skirt steak. We got some New York strip. We got some New York strip steak. We got some porterhouse steak. What about T-bone? You want a T-bone steak? I just got it. Just in today. Freshly cut. What do you want? Take your pick. So you get your nice piece of red meat. You take it home and you begin seasoning it. A little paprika, little garlic salt. Got to be garlic salt. Regular salt, I can't eat regular salt anymore. When I'm eating my meat, I need to put the garlic salt on it. That's the way to go. So a little paprika, a little garlic salt, right? Little marinade, depending on what type of meat it is, depending on what you like. You throw that sucker in a fucking marinade for a couple hours. Right. Sweet Baby Ray's, though. Sweet Baby Ray's, like I said, that is the only barbecue sauce that you should be using. So you got the marinade, you got the paprika, you got the garlic salt. Now it's time to throw it on the grill. You throw it on the grill, and typically you do it 2 to 3 minutes each side, and that will get you to a nice medium temperature. Medium is the way to go. Medium is the way to go. You got to have it medium. Now, some people like it well done. Fine, that's not for me. It tastes like rubber. But at the end of the day, you want it well done, you do 5 minutes each side. But let's just say instead of 5 minutes each side, you leave it on the grill for 10 minutes each side. 10 minutes each side, you take it off the grill, and it's burnt on the outside. You could barely fucking chew it. It's just ruined. It's ruined. You're thinking to yourself, what the fuck happened? Motherfucker, you left it on the grill for too long. That's Roman Reigns' title reign. Roman Reigns' title reign is a piece of overcooked red meat. You got everything right. You got the seasonings right. You got the perfect piece of red meat. No fat on it. You got everything right. All you need to do is put it on the grill for the correct amount of time. And you leave it on the grill for too long. WrestleMania was the time to take the championship off of Roman Reigns. Now, all you're doing is letting that steak sizzle up, and it's not going to taste as good as it would have if you would have taken it off the grill at the right time. WrestleMania was the right time to put the title on Cody, and it was the right time to end Roman's title reign. Now, when you put the title on Cody, it's not going to feel as impactful. It's not going to feel as satisfying. And Roman's title reign right now is as stagnant as you can get, because no matter what happens, until he gets to Cody Rhodes again, every single individual that fights Roman Reigns is going to take an automatic loss. You're doing no one any favors.
But again, like I said, that was a great analogy, by the way. I enjoyed that. Again, like I said before, I'll say it again. Mr. McMahon does not respect Cody Rhodes. Okay, doesn't respect him. And here's the thing that I said before, and I'll say it again. I even said it on the rundown. The rewind. Excuse me. The rewind. I said this, and a part of me just feels that as long as Mr. McMahon is in the picture, Cody Rhodes is not going to touch that title. He's not going to touch it. It's just I just cannot see Cody Rhodes winning those titles. I mean, he cooked up that thing at WrestleMania. He did, and let me tell you something. I agree with DJ Storms, but Roman Reigns' title reigns right now is title run. It's full of shenanigans. Every time you get in the ring with him, he has to retain the title with shenanigans. And I'm getting tired of that. Why do we keep getting that in every Why can't Roman Reigns win his title match cleanly? If you want him to retain the title, why can't he win it cleanly? Why do you got to bring out everybody in the universe? The referee goes down. Oh, here we go. Typical Roman. The referee goes down. This is this. They bring out the this. They bring out the that. They bring out, and then when the smoke clears, he retains the title. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's not how a champion should do it. In every single match, you're gonna do that. In every title match, you're gonna do that. I mean, look at Bruno Sammartino. Look at Hulk Hogan. Look at all of those men that have been champions. They never did shenanigans. They won their matches clean. They retained the title cleanly. I mean, there was no shenanigans. I was like, why every time you gotta have a Roman Reigns match, it's gotta have shenanigans in it? I'm getting worried of this bloodline storyline. I want it to be over, and I agree with DJ Storm 100,000%. They should have let Cody won the match at WrestleMania. But no, Mr. McMahon wants to keep it on Roman Reigns. He built that storyline with the bloodline, and he wants to keep it going. Why? I don't know. Why? I don't know. But he keeps pushing Cody further and further down that totem pole. He doesn't want Cody Rhodes to be a champion. He just doesn't. He drafted him to another show. He put 6 Brock Lesnar on him. This is just.
I really hope Cody wins Money in the Bank and cashes in on Roman at SummerSlam. I really do.
I don't know. Part of me wants to see it, and then part of me is like, damn, that Mr. McMahon. It's like, damn.
I'm just like, just do it already.
I know. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about this. I guess we're up to the main event.
Yeah, and then we're getting out of here.
Yeah, we're up to the main event, ladies and gentlemen. We're up to the main event. Cody Rhodes took on Brock Lesnar. Match was controversial. Match was the ending was. I thought the ending was whack. The ending was whack. You call an audible. You busted open Brock Lesnar. You called an audible. Cody Rhodes rolls him out 1, 2, 3. Then he got his just dessert on Monday Night Raw when he pulled out Cody and cost Cody the championship tournament. I don't know what to say. I don't know. And we still haven't gotten an explanation.
No. Instead, Brock Lesnar wants to come out on Raw. Look at this face. Look at this face.
Yeah.
I want to talk about me.
Right.
Talk about why you fucking attacked Cody, you oaf.
Right, exactly. I mean, there's still no explanation. And I don't think we're going to get one from WWE. I don't think we're going to get one, to be honest with you. I don't think we're going to get one. I still
just have Cody beat Brock in Saudi Arabia.
It's just, like I said before, the evidence is there. WrestleMania, the draft, the promos, and everything tells you right then and there that Mr. McMahon wants to do everything in his power to keep Cody Rhodes away from those titles of Romans. And he sick Brock Lesnar on Cody. But again, like I said before, Brock Lesnar has not said publicly why he did what he did to Cody Rhodes. We'll just never know, I guess. We'll just never know. But anyway,
they ruined that match. They ruined. They were doing decent, and then it just ended.
Right. Like I said before,
what they were gonna do, you should have closed the show with Damian Priest and Bad Bunny.
Right. I mean, I agree with that assessment. I agree with the assessment. I agree with the entire assessment. It was whack. The ending was whack. I did not respect the ending at all. I thought it was whack. I thought it was crazy, and it was just weird. It was just weird. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for my show. That's going to do it. We went through the entire menu on the show tonight. Again, I want to thank DJ Storms once again for coming on my show. He was absolutely fabulous. He was a banger. He was absolutely fabulous. And ladies and gentlemen, this is not the last time he's going to be on this show. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, no, no. No, no, no. We still got June, July, and August to deal with, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, he'll be back for all of those. I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, I guarantee you, right here on the experience. But again, DJ Storms, I want to thank you again for coming aboard the mothership. It was greatly appreciated.
I mean, come on. Whenever I'm aboard the mothership, it's a partay. It's always a partay with DJ Storms aboard the mothership. We rocking and rolling all day, every day. But Mr. Earl Cole, I thank you very much for having me here on the stream, here on the wrestling experience. It is great to experience this fun with you. And hopefully we can do it again very, very soon. A busy week for us. You were on my channel. I was on yours. And now we are going to wrap it up. We got plenty of good material going on. Next Friday, just a reminder, ISPW is going to Montclair at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time at Montclair High School, I believe. Montclair High School, I believe. I'm going to have to double clarify with that, but it's going to be in a gymnasium, and they're going to set up something very, very nice. Earl Cole, I better see you there. I got a new t-shirt, and if you want a new t-shirt, I could place an order in for you. You can get the new DJ Storms I Am Inevitable t-shirt. It's like fucking Thanos. I am absolutely motherfucking inevitable.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he certainly is. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to return to cyberspace, ladies and gentlemen, this Monday night for the Raw watch along. Please listen, please watch that show because you will be entertained. Even if the show isn't entertaining, we will entertain you to the max, ladies and gentlemen. And then next Thursday, ladies and gentlemen, I return with the wrestling experience and another guest will aboard the mothership. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. We hope that you were entertained. We hope that we brought some smiles to your face. And ladies and gentlemen, from my mother to all the mothers out there, happy Mother's Day weekend. DJ Storms, happy Mother's Day weekend to you and your lovely family. Ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, have a good rest of your Thursday evening, ladies and gentlemen. Have a safe weekend. And I'll see you.
Wait. I think that we forgot one thing.
Who runs the WIC, ladies and gentlemen?
IWC.
IWC, ladies and gentlemen.
Who runs the IWC, people? Who?
Let me see. It's not George Washington. It's DJ Storms, ladies and
gentlemen. You already know the drill. Who but DJ motherfucking Storms? And don't you forget it.
And ladies and gentlemen, have a safe weekend, and I'll catch you Monday night.
Now with the hottest show in the universe, the Wrestling Experience, with your host, Earl Cole.
Acknowledge me.
Coming at you with all the dope shit, freshest WWE content, and also the AEW. You are now watching The Experience, the Wrestling Experience. Now with